Today, I'm going to tell you the biggest opportunity facing Pokemon collectors and investors. An opportunity that is almost guaranteed to improve your experience collecting and investing in Pokemon cards. And it's going to help you have more fun every single day. But despite this, most of you aren't going to like what I have to say. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the TCG Buyers Club. My name's Gray, and I buy cardboard. Okay, let's cut to the chase. What is this absolutely golden opportunity for collectors and investors? I hate to break it to you, but it's actually playing the TCG. Wait. Before you click away, I promise I have some great tips to share with you with 3 surprising benefits I gained when I started playing the TCG. 1, I was suddenly able to spot the kinds of traps many collectors and investors fall for because they don't understand how playable demand works and fluctuates over time. This is a big one. 2, every card became interesting, even the common and uncommon cards, and I can't wait to explain that to you. And 3 is a secret. I'm going to share that at the end of the video, so be sure to stick around. Let's start off with playability and prices. When it comes to singles, the effect of playability is pretty straightforward. Cards that players want go up. The challenge for people who don't understand the TCG is going to be recognizing what cards are currently affected by that playable demand and how to anticipate that demand shifting over time. And to demonstrate this, I want to talk about a card that experienced this not too long ago, Drizzile. Drizzile was originally released in February 2020 as part of the Sword and Shield base set. It is the middle Pokemon in the Inteleon evolution line and is one of the standard uncommon cards released in that set. About a year later, in Shining Fates, there was a shiny version of the card included in the shiny vault of that set. That's the card we're going to focus on today. I think it's a little more interesting. But this story applies to all playable cards, I promise. See, shortly after the Shining Fates release, Drizzile emerged in the competitive meta as one of the go-to cards for playability. And the shiny version, being the rarer and fancier version of the card, saw a huge spike and run up in price as players were buying it because they either loved the card and wanted the fanciest version in their deck or wanted to flex on their friends by just having the cooler version. You know what I'm talking about. The prices on this card shot up to as much as $16 US for a single copy of the card. Things took a dramatic turn in April 2023 for one obvious and predictable reason: anyone who plays the game. Drizzile rotated out of the standard format. See, in competitive TCG, there's always a standard set of cards that are allowed to be played in tournament. These sets always include cards from the newest sets as they get released, and once a year they do a big rotation where a bunch of the cards that are a couple years old are no longer allowed to be played in decks. All Pokemon cards will hit the standard rotation point and fall out of competitive play at some point. This is when it happened to Drizzile. And now that $16 card can be bought for less than $3. And if you were an enthusiastic collector, maybe even knew a thing or two about the game and understood the competitive demand, but really wanted to master set your Shining Fates set at the time, you were gonna have a bad time. Don't make the mistake I did. Be patient and wait. Now, fortunately, the Pokemon Company publishes the upcoming rotation dates and all of the cards that are going to be affected by it well in advance. It's very easy to know it's coming and plan accordingly. What's a lot trickier to predict is the variability of playable demand throughout any given season as different decks rise and fall within the competitive meta. And unfortunately, there's no hard rules you can lean on for this. But if you play the game and have a general understanding of the gameplay, you're going to be in the best position possible to understand when these changes might come and be able to act accordingly. Look, this tip alone could save you a ton of money as an investor or collector. So if you're liking the video so far, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. But an interesting mix-up is not only did playability affect the prices of these Drizzile cards, it also made me kind of like Drizzile. Like, let's face it, the middle evolutions of our starter Pokemon, often not the favorites. Like Charmander, for example. Adorable. Charizard, super cool, incredibly popular Pokemon. Charmeleon? Anybody? I think you get the point. And not only did I not like Drizzile, I wasn't a fan of the entire Inteleon line from Sword and Shield, my least favorite of the starters, but this Drizzile card and the Shady Dealings Inteleon line ended up being so playable and so pivotal in so many decks. I inevitably started playing decks that used these cards, and the ability is actually quite challenging to use at times. It's kind of like a puzzle. I loved using these cards, and as a result, I now kind of love Inteleon and Drizzile, Pokemon that I never would have appreciated before had I not played the game. And this continues to be true. Almost every card now is fascinating. Trainers, which are easy to overlook as a collector outside of maybe the full art and special art rare variants. I know. But the base trainers are awesome cards. They're so fun to read about and learn, and you'll use them in your decks and develop these relationships to the Pokemon and characters in ways that you never would have if you didn't play the game. It's opened me up to a whole new world of Pokemon where more characters and monsters than ever before I'm kind of in love with, and I love that. It's made Pokemon so much more fun for me to collect and engage with, and I think it will for you too. I know a lot of collectors concentrate their interest in a small subset of Pokemon with specific favorites, and for me, playing the game has been a way to open myself up to so many more than I would have before, and I'm just super grateful for what that's done for my engagement with the hobby, and it's honestly a huge part of why I'm here ranting on the internet about Pokemon anyways. Point 3, the secret. The best part about Pokemon is the incredible people in the community, and playing the game has been an awesome way to meet new friends that I never would have met any other way. I recently competed in the Toronto Regional. It was my first in-person Pokemon event despite playing for years online, and it was absolutely incredible just meeting with all these kind, thoughtful, and interesting people who are incredibly supportive of a total noob who didn't even have a single Forest Sealstone card to put in my deck. For shame. And look, at the end of the day, the Pokemon community is incredibly diverse, and there's a huge number of people, more than ever before, who are playing the game and maybe less engaged in some of the other areas you are. If you love Pokemon like me, I've had a blast meeting every new Pokemon fan that I've come across, and playing the game has been one of the greatest ways to do that. Pokemon TCG is bigger and more popular than it's ever been. Many of us are well aware that there are more collectors than ever before in the hobby, and that's been an incredible thing. But on top of that, there are more players than ever before. New regional competitions have thousands of competitors instead of the hundreds in just years past, and there's a good reason for it. It's an incredibly fun game and drives a huge amount of the Pokemon company's decision making and strategy around the products they produce and put out. And I have no doubt that for everyone who gets into the game and learns how to play it, you're going to have a blast, you're going to learn a ton, it's going to make you a better collector and investor in the long term. So look, if you learned anything today, please let me know in the comments below. I read every one. And of course, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gray from the TCG Buyers Club, and I buy cardboard. We'll see you in the next video. Oh, la, la, la. Just chilling with my squishmallows. I got my Gengar here. He's a really cool guy. He looks really angry, but he's actually nice. Pikachu here is cute as a button. You could cuddle it and fall asleep. You